take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Tar Heels of Roy Williams. In Ty Lawson's absence, Quentin Thomas, the seniors, played very, very well in the backcourt with Ellington and Ginyard. And up front, Deon Thompson's been battling a bad back and a bad calf, but he'll start with Tyler Hansbrough up front for Roy Williams. And for Al Skinner's Eagles, 13-13 on the season. Tyrese Rice, the #2 scorer in the conference. Sanders, Corey Raji makes just his second start, the freshman, in an Eagle uniform. John Oates up front with Terrell Blair, who leads the Atlantic Coast Conference in block shots, so he's a presence defensively underneath. Al Skinner, 11 years, done a great job. He's winning as coach here. It's been a tough season with a very, very young squad. They have lost 9 of their last 10. On the other side, Hall of Famer Roy Williams, 550 career wins over 20 seasons. His team has won 8 of its last 9. So it's not necessarily the top and the bottom of the conference, but North Carolina can move into a tie with Duke for that top spot should they win here today. And they already are 11-0 on the road, the Tar Heels. And you see Tyrese Rice, the little guy, in the middle of that group, and he's their main hope, averaging 20 points a game, and he scored 20 in an earlier loss this year to North Carolina, the game Jimmy and I did about a month ago. So Duke a winner today. North Carolina trying to move in there. Duke defeating North Carolina State. They trailed badly in that game at one point. They come back to win by 1, 87-86. So it's up to North Carolina now to keep pace. To go to 12-2, they've got to get by the Boston College Eagles, who they've beaten 3 straight times now, including back at the end of January in Chapel Hill, 91-69.
Brad, you and I were talking. That's what makes Duke Duke. They can be down, look like they're not going to pull it off. They come back somehow to win it. That's also what adds to that Duke-North Carolina rivalry.
Jamie Luckey, Gary Maxwell, and Roger Ayers, the officials. From Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, just about set for this ACC matchup. Thompson and Blair to jump. Here we go. And it's going to be controlled by the Eagles. Here's Tyrese Rice. Drive on the baseline. Shot blocked underneath already by Thompson. Carolina comes back the other way. Here's Hansbrough's first touch. Nice job defensively by Oates, and Tyler's going to have to give it up. Thompson, kick out, Hansbrough from the free throw elbow. Doesn't get the roll, and the rebound will come off to Sanders.
I like the first possession, though, of North Carolina. All 5 guys in Carolina blue got a touch of the basketball.
Sanders, nice bounce pass in low. Blair off the glass. Nice move, Terrell Blair.
Brad, he has to score. I mean, this is a guy that only averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds a game. He has to do something in this ball game to make Tyler Hansbrough play defensively.
And now North Carolina gives up the ball. The outlet to Oates. He runs it down and slams it home.
That's a tee. Nobody underneath you, and you can't do that to emphasize the 2 points you just got in the open floor. Again, wide open, no one underneath you. You're not in jeopardy of coming down, of hurting yourself or someone else. And that's just a big exclamation point that does not be part of this ball game, and Oates gets teed because of it, and it's the right call.
John has played in 100 games. You think he know better, huh? His 100th game, big slam after the turnover, and the technical now puts North Carolina at the free throw line. And a guy that doesn't miss many. He's the #2 free throw shooter in the conference. Wayne Ellington drains the first.
Brad, that's not a personal foul on Oates. I guess if you're Oates, you get a breakaway dunk against what should be the #1 team in the country. Sometimes you hang on the rim in those situations.
That thought crossed my mind, too. That's not what Coach Skinner is thinking about right now. So now North Carolina will have the ball in the backcourt. Chance to tie this trip down.
And how well has this guy played with the basketball in the absence of Ty Lawson? Much more confident. You see, but between the leg dribble, just really playing like he was as a senior in high school.
Whoops, so you just said that.
And he has played so well the last 6 games, averaging over 6 assists and only 2 turnovers. That time the pressure bothered him, and that has been something he's struggled with throughout his career.
Bates trying to look down low, brings it back. Rice for three. Got it. Tyrese Rice, his 51st three-pointer of the year.
He is one of the better tough shot / bad shot makers in the ACC. I mean, he has a green light. You let him measure the rim, and he's going to put it up.
Extra pass, Ginyard trying to get it to Hansbrough. Knocked away, still loose. And it's going to be a foul on North Carolina. And it's on Deon Thompson.
North Carolina foul number 21, Deon Thompson. His first personal foul, first team foul.
Can Boston College score enough points to win this basketball game? They've only been over 80 points one time the entire month of February, where North Carolina has averaged 87 for the month.
Rice, another three. Boy, when he starts early and hot like that, look out. Big advantage, Boston College in the opening minutes. And the Eagles playing with a lot more confidence than they did in Chapel Hill a few weeks ago. Off to an 8-point lead. Heat check.
Oh, wow!
Three in a row.
Whoa! And none of those three, Brad, have been what you would call really quality three-point looks.
Thompson short. We welcome those of you watching arena football from Georgia, where the Desperados beat the Force, and the Force is with the Eagles here in the opening 3 minutes. With Jimmy Dykes, I'm Brad Nessler. We're 3 minutes into the game, and Boston College, courtesy of Tyrese Rice, 3 straight three-pointers, has hopped out to an 11-point lead over the number 2 team in the country. How about Tyrese Rice? 3 straight, just boom, boom, and boom.
And early Tyrese Rice is trying to tie one on. Again, I think he's one of the better tough shot / bad shot makers in the ACC. The 3 three-point shots he's made in this ball game would not be described as great looks, but he can make them as good as anyone.
North Carolina beat Boston College the last day of January in Chapel Hill, 91-69. I don't think they ever had a double-figure lead in that game, and we did it. And there, 4 in a row for number 4. 12 points for Rice, 16-2. Hansbrough, baseline jumper, and 1. ESPN's college basketball on ABC, presented by KFC, all part of Rivalry Week, presented by Jockey. We weren't exactly expecting this from Chestnut Hill. A snowy overnight, a lot of snow this morning, a lot of heat right now from Tyrese Rice. Man, oh man, we have not seen anybody shoot this well in 3.5 minutes all year long, and we've done a lot of games in a lot of places. Hansbrough's got 3.
Brad, when you're North Carolina on the road and things have come unraveled quickly, you go straight to Tyler Hansbrough to try to silence the crowd. He will be the difference maker in this ball game if North Carolina can get him enough touches. There's that tight flex offense that thrives off of elbow touches, and that's what it results.
Rice, perfect. 5 for 5. That's a little one for him. 14 points.
Quentin Thomas has been bothered by the pressure of Rice early in this ball game out top for North Carolina.
Whistle and a foul on Oates. He's got to be careful. He's already got a technical called on him today. Well, the technical part of the game is Tyrese Rice shooting right now. Seeing Tyrese Rice raining 3-pointers on North Carolina. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes. We haven't seen anybody shoot like this in the opening 4 minutes of a ball game so far this year, Jimmy.
I mean, he came out locked and loaded, and again, he was taking tough 3-point shots. North Carolina did a good job of recovering to him, but again, he's one of the better bad shot makers in all of college basketball. And he hit that first one, then he hit the second one, and it was on from that point. 14
points for Rice. North Carolina looking for an answer. As Jimmy said, usually that means get it to number 50. Here he is at the free throw line. Hansbrough spins, forces one up, got his own miss. Second chance, he'll go to the free throw line, and I think he lost a contact. everybody's going to try to help him out a little bit. And you talk about nice sportsmanship
by Raji.
Corey Raji's the guy that spotted.
Why would you point it out? I would step on it. Why would you say, Tyler, here's your contact?
He's a freshman. That's why. He'll know better by the time he's a junior.
That's a major mistake.
And talk about sportsmanship in the pregame. Tyrese Rice, very highly thought of by everybody around the ACC. There's Ty Lawson, who we expect to play today. He's been out since February 3rd when he injured that ankle against Florida State. But the numbers today, 14 points already, 4 for 4 on 3-pointers. The #2 scorer in the conference is showing us why on his home floor.
And Brad, he's one of the 16 finalists for the Bob Cousy Award, the nation's top point guard. But he is a scoring point guard, and once he gives it up, sometimes they have a hard time getting him the basketball back. So keep an eye on how much he keeps the ball in his hands in this ball game.
Well, for instance, in their loss to Virginia Tech the other night, he had 15 points, but he didn't have an assist. And that's not a number you want to see from your point guard. So you're right. He's their main scoring threat. And after that, they kind of look around and go, where else is it going to come from?
I said the last time we had this game, the only problem with Tyrese Rice, he can't pass to himself.
Almost did there.
Yeah, he did. They love to get those tight elbow touches right around that corner of the lane area. They really go to work.
Well, he finally missed his shot, so he's human. And North Carolina comes up with the ball. Quentin Thomas. Green misses from the outside. Eagles had their hands on it, but North Carolina ends up knocking it away. And now Hansbrough forcing it inside, and a chance for another 3-point play. Well, it's been a long time, and Ty Lawson, you can see the ankle brace, the black brace on the left ankle, injured about 4 minutes into the Florida State game, has not played since. Roy Williams told Jimmy and I a couple hours ago, we want to get him some time before Tuesday, which is a final home game for North Carolina. Then, of course, a week from tonight is the big one against Duke, and they can't keep waiting forever. So he's out there for the first time in a month.
Brad, probably the most important left ankle in all of college basketball. This team can win the national championship if Ty Lawson gets healthy and stays healthy and is 100% on Selection Sunday. That's how valuable he is. And to think of the numbers that Hansbrough has put up without him in the lineup, almost staggering.
Thursday was really the first day he's gone against anybody defensively, which he's doing right now against one of the better scorers in the country because of that ankle. Here's the matchup.
Go right at him if you're Rice early.
And another 3. 5 threes by Rice in the opening 5.5 minutes.
North Carolina is going to have to make Rice now do something off the bounce, and that's not good news because he can also produce off of the bounce.
Hansbrough inside, too strong, rebound, Boston College and Sanders. Rice, pull up, another. Got another!
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
6 threes.
Locked, loaded, and the aim has been perfect in this ball game for Tyrese Rice.
Lawson lost the handle momentarily. Green will track it down. What a shooting display. In low. Rebound, Boston College. Off to Josh Southern. Tyrese Rice, like everybody in a blue jersey, is running at him, and that leaves everybody else open. Raji. And Green will pull off the miss.
When so much at stake in this ball game, Brad, for North Carolina, they continue to go back to their National Player of the Year on the road when you're down. That's exactly what you do. But North Carolina, if they win, they will be #1 on Monday. If they win, they will tie Duke right now for the lead in the ACC. If they win, they will stay on track for potential #1 seed. The team in Carolina Blue, a lot to play for on this floor.
They've got to be as in much a shock as the rest of the country and the packed house here by the shooting of this young fella. 20 already. And make it 22.
This is the best 7 minutes you and I have ever seen doing a college basketball game together by Tyrese Rice. Tying one on. #4 in white.
Sometimes there are special moments, especially in this conference. This is one already, and we got a long, long, long way to go. 22 points.
Well, Ty talked about how he will challenge Ty Lawson early. You see the little lift fake, and Lawson doesn't have the quickness to recover once he flies out of the action. What's he on pace for?
Well, he's on pace for about 60, but we got a long ways to go. A 15-point lead. Ginyard lost it inside. Brings it back in. Danny Green tracks it down here midcourt. Now Thompson. Rebound Copeland. Battle underneath in the lane. Copeland finally comes out of the pile with it. Here's Ty Lawson, long three. Had to take it, and now tipped in by Green.
Danny Green's one of those guys, when the game's over, Brad, he's going to have something in every corner on that stat sheet. Offensive rebounds, takes charges, steals. He is an action guy. You can just go right at Ty Lawson right now if you're Tyrese Rice.
I don't know why nobody set a pick for him at that particular time. It looked like he was looking for one. He's kind of grabbing his trunks right now. He's tired of shooting. They'll get it back to him. No, they won't. I thought they were going to on the move by Paris. Here's Roach on the outside. And the shot clock expires. 11:46 remaining in the first half. A shocking first half. Tyrese Rice has been unbelievable. A lot of North Carolina fans who made the trip either from Chapel Hill or from wherever they may live in this area, and they're shocked, I think, by a 27-14 score. Right now, Tyrese Rice, from my math during that timeout, is on pace for 109 points today offensively. He's got 23 in about 8.5 minutes. I might be off by a little bit, but it's close. Hansbrough's got 10 for Carolina. Goes baseline. Rebound, Boston College. Controlled by Tyler Roach.
And Boston College's defense has been outstanding the first 8 minutes of this ball game. Other than Tyler Hansbrough, no one else from North Carolina is sniffing that basketball right now. Tyrese
Rice, 15th time he's been over 20 points this year, but we didn't expect it to come in 8 minutes. Everybody in the building wants him to shoot, including me. And Hansbrough's going to pick up the foul, his first.
That's a big key against North Carolina, is making number 50 defend his position. Now, he is very good at it, but you have to attack him in every possible area at all times while he's on the floor, and making him defend every possession, a big key for Boston College.
Here's a young guy out of Saginaw, Michigan, who's getting more and more time for Boston College as the season goes along. And obviously the young guys are going to get a lot of time because Al Skinner's got so many young guys on this BC roster. But Josh Southern, the freshman, coming off a career-high 26 minutes the other night against Virginia Tech, and here he is at the free throw line.
Brad, again, those points are huge for Boston College. The fact that they've only scored over 80 points once the entire month of February, and Carolina has averaged 87 points during the month. You know Boston College offensively must have everything working today to pull off the upset.
And Carolina adds 2 more from Deion Thompson. Carolina averages 90 points a game, number 2 in the country. Tops in the conference, as you might guess. They're the number 1 field goal shooting team in the conference as well. You know, the Duke folks, fans, and probably the Duke team watching this game. And by the way, a 1-point win gave Mike Krzyzewski his 800th career victory. Coach K, congratulations on that milestone. Inside, rejected, but a foul on Raheem Sanders. That'll be his first. Big 12 college action coming up tonight. Michael Beasley, Kansas State, taking on Darrell Arthur in Kansas. Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV, part of Judgment Week presented by Jockey. 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight follows the game day, guys.
I anticipate Kansas winning that ball game by upwards of 18, 19, 20 points. I think they will come at a very young Kansas State team tonight in a rockin' Fog Allen Fieldhouse. And if they don't, I'm sure Bill Self will have some real concerns with his ball club. I'm still waiting on Kansas, Brad, to have that one guy that pounds their jersey and means it and backs it up on the floor. We'll see if that happens tonight.
You saw Ty Lawson go out after getting his first minutes in the past month off the North Carolina bench with that bad ankle. And he held up pretty well. Coach Williams told Jimmy and I in the locker room before the game, I'll ask him before the game, are you ready to go? Jimmy said, will he tell you the truth? And he said, I think so. And then after that, he'll tell him whether or not it's sore after playing defense against Tyrese Rice, I'm sure.
And where is Ty Lawson's conditioning? He spent a lot of time in the pool, a lot of time on the bicycle, but that does not equate to basketball conditioning. It'll take a while.
Wow, was that a quick move, huh? Biko Paris.
At times, North Carolina on film the last couple of weeks can still be exposed, defending the dribble of the basketball with quick guys getting into the lane. That's exactly what Paris did to him.
Underneath, nice feed by Hansbrough to Danny Green. Talked about Ty Lawson spending time on the bicycle, stationary. North Carolina ran out of bikes earlier this week. Roy Williams said, we're ready for the tour. Could send some guys out there, see how we can do in France. And underneath and got it. That one hung there for a long time. Josh Southern, who I talked about earlier. Young big guy coming on for Boston College. 13 points, BC lead. 8:45 remaining first half.
I like North Carolina's movement, and I like their screening action in this offense. Now, there's a bad shot by Ellington. Didn't trust the offense to give it another good look.
Rice has not scored in the last about 3 minutes, maybe more than 3. Part of that could be Carolina's defense. Part of it that he's trying to get everybody else involved.
Quentin Thomas is a better defender probably with both ankles healthy than what Ty Lawson. And Tyrese Rice just went around their best on-ball defender.
Did a little flyby, but somebody got a hand on the ball and knocked it out of bounds.
And the back screen action right here. Great job in the right there, just setting a little back screen action. That's why I talk about North Carolina right now and their half-court offense, getting great movement and getting some high percentage looks when they trust their offense more than 4 or 5 passes. It's been good to them.
Blair kicks out. Sanders thought about a 3. Might have gotten away with a walk and then went in and tried to jam it. Got his own miss. Rejected by Green, and now Southern. Third time's going to be the charm. He's going to go to the free throw line. The foul's going to be on Quentin Thomas.
Interesting in this ball game, Brad. Boston College has been the more aggressive team, and normally that's how you describe North Carolina because of Tyler Hansbrough. But Al Skinner's club, although they come in at 4-9 and 500 on the season, they are coming at what will be the #1 team in the country on Monday if they were to win today.
So Southern back to the free throw line where he hit his last 2. This one rims out.
Number 11, Warrior Ashley, replaces Tyrese Rice.
And don't forget, North Carolina trying to draw even with Duke as Duke came from 3 down at the half. NC State had a bigger lead with 12:41 to go, but Duke found a way by 1, 87-86, so they're 12-2. Tyrese Rice gets a breather and a quick drink, well-deserved. 23 points already for him, but he hasn't scored now in about 4 minutes, and it'll be more than that while he takes a little break on the bench. Ellington baseline all the way. And it by Blair, the top shot blocker in the conference.
Another great example of a young Boston College team throwing punches and connecting right in the nose of North Carolina early in this ball game.
Boston College is going to take a timeout. 7:38 remaining first half. It's been the Eagles flying high throughout. They've led throughout the game and by as many as 15. Right now 14 up with 7:38 to go in the first half. Tyrese Rice will stay on the bench. You wonder where the scoring comes from when he's not in there, and that's what we'll kind of watch with you and find out. if there is any.
I think Boston College, what they have to do now, they got to get back to going hard off of the bounce. They've lost their jump shooter, and the Eagles now, instead of flying three-pointers towards the rim.
Tyrese Rice today for Boston College has been sensational, and by himself he'd be leading North Carolina. We could say Tyrese Rice 23, Tar Heels 20, but it's probably more appropriate to say Boston College 34, North Carolina 20.
Congratulations to Coach K. Only Eddie Sutton at San Francisco has more wins than the active coaches, but I like Coach K's chances of passing Eddie Sutton before the season's over. Yes. I think Duke's going to win more games than San Francisco from here on out.
Look at the story, 12 out of 17 after starting 7 for 7 and then cooling off with 5 out of their last 10. The Eagles still shooting 70% from the floor, but of course most of that has been Tyrese Rice. Here's Sanders outside. Rebound kept alive by Blair. He's going to go back up with it. Had it rejected. Nice defense by Stevenson. See if Hansbrough gets a touch. They've got him front and back. And it's going to be a foul on Rice. That'll be his first. NBA Sunday on ABC and ESPN tomorrow features 3 terrific matchups. First, the Bulls take on LeBron and the Cavs on ABC. Then at 3:30, Jason Kidd leading the Mavericks against Kobe's Lakers. Finally, 7:30 on ESPN, Denver will battle Houston. It's all tomorrow. NBA Sunday on ABC and ESPN.
The North Carolina team last night with their coaches went to see Charlotte and the Boston Celtics play. Paul Pierce, Scott Pollard, Raymond Felton, all former Roy Williams players now in the NBA. There's your touch by Hansbrough.
Short. Blair with a rebound.
Tyrese Rice has to get himself in position for another 3.
Or he's going to be fouled before he got in a shooting situation, and it's going to be on Quentin Thomas, his second, and it's going to send him to the free throw line 1-on-1 time.
Brad, you have to pick Tyrese up a lot sooner than what North Carolina just did on that possession. Those Carolina jerseys were inside the three-point lines. He's bringing this ball. That's too late. The reason why I say that, he also had the option to stop and pop. And Roy Williams was up addressing his kids because of it. You're going to have to get out on top of Tyrese Rice, funnel him to one side or the other, and cannot let him get that deep that early.
That's his first point in about 5 minutes, roughly, from the free throw line. Southern gets a big round of applause. He's done a nice job coming in off the bench. Rice, an 84% free throw shooter, 2 for 2 today. And Tyler Hansbrough takes the miss. Thomas picked up his dribble, got it to Ellington from the elbow. Snatched the rebound there by Corey Raji.
Better job of a shadow defender in Thomas, slowing down Rice in the initial push.
Sanders, nice drive. He started every game this year. The freshman out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. That's his first basket of the ball game.
The best offense for Boston College, Tyrese Rice shooting threes, and other guys able to do something off of the bounce against North Carolina, an area they have struggled.
Well, they had their biggest lead, but it was only momentary as Ginyard got the feed down low, but still 37-20 until that basket. Almost shocking. I'm sure everybody that's tuning in going, wait a minute, you got the score wrong there, guys. Rice flips it up, no foul, tripped himself a little bit en route to the basket. And now it's Ellington for 3. He's not found his shooting touch today. Here's the outlet to Rice. The extra pass. Maybe should have taken it himself.
Well, he's the hardest guy to guard on the floor right now, and you have to have Rice recognition. Look at the too much space right here, Brad. That's what I'm talking about between the first defender and Tyrese Rice. A little bit of a moving screen action, which I love for Rice to work off of, but those North Carolina jerseys now, they better get out higher on that floor and funnel him to one side or the other and not let him make a gut cut with the basketball.
Under 5.5 minutes in the first half. Not a good pass by Shamari Spears, and going the other way. Oh, what a block by Sanders. Now Hansbrough, and he's fouled by Blair. Raheem Sanders. Watch this. By Shamari Spears and going the other way. Oh, what a block.
Well, that's a freshman that has a 23-year-old body as on an 18-year-old kid. I'm not talking about a 6th-year senior fraternity boy 23-year-old body. This guy's chiseled. Great elevation.
Hansbrough, he's hit more free throws than anybody in North Carolina history. And before this season's over, if North Carolina goes relatively deep into tournament time, he'll probably be the all-time free throw shooter in ACC history. A guy that's hit more free throws than field goals in his career, and he's closing in on 2,000 points. Tyler 11 today, make it 12, and now 1,952 in his 3-year career.
Brad, the pace that he's on, he's in 6 more games. He will overtake Christian Laettner's all-time ACC 713 made free throws.
And the all-time as Rice takes another 3 and got another 3.
That's what I called for on the last possession. He is on fire. He's not even hitting the rim right now on those shots. He has to continue to try to get separation, and Carolina can't let him get that separation.
You can see he was trying to fan himself off. He's so hot. Career high 7 3-pointers. And a push and a foul on North Carolina. It's going to be on Ty Lawson. Might be a little chilly outside in Boston. Not inside. Not with this guy with a ball in his hands.
A mistake made, though, by Ty Lawson, Brad. Once Rice gave it up, Ty Lawson went to try to double the basketball. You cannot get away from someone that's fanning themselves off on their home floor. Heat check to the max by Tyrese Rice right now.
Goodness, 27 first-half points.
He's got that look in his eyes that says, I ain't even close to being done, folks.
No.
I'm trying to get 50.
His career high scoring, by the way, is 32. What we showed you there was career high in threes. So that one's very much in jeopardy. His career high, if it doesn't fall today, it's going to be a shock because he's only a handful of points away, and we still got almost a handful of minutes to play in the first half. Meanwhile, Corey Raji hits his first 2 points.
I am shocked. I'm telling you right now, I am shocked that it's 42-24. We did this first ball game, and it was a knockout punch by North Carolina on their home floor.
Baseline 3 goes. Will Graves. Only his 15th three-pointer of the year. Certainly comes at a good time for North Carolina.
Now Ty Lawson picks up Rice higher on the floor, but also gives Rice room to operate off the bounce.
Floater won't go. And they're going to call a foul on Boston College. It's going to be on Raji. Corey Raji's first foul. Boy, as if North Carolina didn't have enough injuries. I'm just watching Danny Green right now limping down the court. He's got basically his ankle and calf, and he's got a pad on his left calf, and he just kind of half-trotted down the court for Roy Williams right now, too.
You got Green with a bad calf. You got Deion Thompson with a bad a knee and a back. Ty Lawson's ankle. I'm sure Tyler Hansbrough has something wrong with him. He just won't admit it.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell anybody.
No.
Game doesn't start for Tyler Hansbrough until first blood is drawn. He's usually bleeding either out of his eye or his nose by now. We still have 4 minutes and 10 seconds. There's hope.
You know, if I was Danny Green, I'd walk up to him in the pre-games and smack him in the nose, get that blood flowing.
That's right.
And he could explode for like 27 points in the first 10 minutes.
Here they're trying to trap Tyrese Rice, and they're able to do it. Turnover. Hansbrough. And he had it stripped going up.
North Carolina is always a team that can surprise you defensively with that run and jump. When the run and jump gets going, it also triggers Hansbrough in transition. They ain't going away.
Come out of the locker room and you think, you know, Dancing with the Stars starts March 17th, but I don't have time, so I think I'll play basketball. And you're Tyrese Rice, and you come out, and everything you throw up there goes in, including 7 threes in 1 half? Are you kidding me?
Well, now, in behalf of North Carolina's defense, I'm going to tell you this, Brad. This is a guy that comes in ACC play only making 2 3-point shots a game. He has not shown the ability to beat you from the 3-point line up until this ball game.
Tyler Hansbrough at the free throw line for North Carolina is 7 for 7. North Carolina has not missed a free throw as a team. He almost never misses.
I'm sure during that 8-minute mark or 12-minute mark timeout from North Carolina, Roy Williams said, forget that scouting report we had on the board. Start climbing back up into the face of Tyrese Rice on those threes.
And here's Ty Lawson on him. Lawson again playing for the first time with that bad ankle in the last month. Nice feed down low to Southern. Good looking assist. You start worrying too much about Rice as a scorer, and he can do that to you too. He's the leading assist man on this team. Boston College has 10 assists on their 15 made field goals. It's usually North Carolina leading the country in assists that has that number. Danny Green takes it inside and scores. 6 for Green off the bench, which is something he does so well. 17 times he's had double-digit scoring games off the Carolina bench.
Now watch North Carolina double and run and jump. That's exactly what they did, but Rice does the right thing. A power dribble and attacks the help defender.
And they bump him, and we'll send him to the free throw line. Our coverage of arena football continues on ESPN2 on Monday night. San Jose SaberCats take on the Rush of Chicago. Russell Athletic, ESPN Arena Football on ESPN2 Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Dallas, if you missed it prior to our game, got off to a good start against the Georgia Force, winning at Gwinnett Arena on the road in a high-scoring affair in Atlanta, in Duluth, I should say, Duluth, Georgia this afternoon. Here, 44-33. Boston College has led throughout, and this guy has been something else. 27 points, 28 points. Got to get him to 30 at halftime, by halftime, can't we?
I think we can. And you're talking about a guy now that's grouped in the same conversation of DJ Augustine, Darren Collison, Mike Green at Butler, Ty Lawson, one of the 16 finalists for the Cousy Award. The only problem I have with the Bob Cousy Award this year is the fact that Jason Richards from Davidson is not in the top 16. You talking about one of the most underrated players in the college basketball, has led college basketball all season long in assists. For him to not be on that list, I have a problem with the official list right now.
Ellington picked up his dribble, Hansbrough, and Boston College picks up the defensive pressure. We haven't had to worry about the shot clock much today, but it is at 10 right now for Carolina. Quentin Thomas slipped in the lane, got his own would-be pass, and got it to Hansbrough. Chance for a three-point play again.
That's a Psycho T at his best, because late in the clock he's going to hang around the rim expecting loose balls, offensive rebounds, or things just to end up in his paws, and he is so strong and so good, Brad, at going through contact and keeping those focused eyes on the rim.
Look at the free throws. It's unbelievable. And another three-point play for Tyler Hansbrough.
They are making 20 free throws a game. Opponents are only attempting 18 in ACC play. That's the reason why it's only a 10-point game when they're playing against a guy that is unbelievable hot right now.
If somebody would have heard the words come out of my mouth, Carolina would like to get it to single digits by halftime, they'd have thought I'd been out all last night and never went to bed. And that's not the case.
You've never done that.
No, I've never.
But you've never done that, so I would never say that about you.
Not recently. 2 minutes left. Rice from a mile away. And a whistle and a foul underneath.
North Carolina foul.
And the foul is going to be on Alex Stevenson. Coming up at the UPS half. Milestone for Coach K, win number 800. Some bubbles bursting in the Big East. Michael Beasley in Kansas. Act number 2 coming up. Our primetime matchup on ESPN tonight. Scott Reese will have all of that on the UBS halftime report in about a minute 54 seconds.
You know, you can make all those threes for Tyrese Rice and be outscoring North Carolina. But my question to him is, yeah, well, show me that you can make a 30-footer. He almost does. I mean, that's a good look, great rotation. You know what? He shoots the ball the same, Brad, from 30 feet as he does from 19 feet 9. And for a small guy, that's really a rare quality, that he has good leg strength and the same form no matter where you let him launch it from on the other side of half court.
In his defense a little bit on that shot, there was 6 seconds on the shot clock, and I think he kind of scanned in a hurry the court and said, there's not going to be anything better coming up than me.
You're right.
Danny Green thought about a triple there. Now on the drive, tried to get in the lane to Stevenson and threw it away.
Find Rice. You
There
better
he goes.
find Rice.
Got it.
Find Rice, or it'll be fried rice. clapping.
8 3-pointers in a half, and now he's cheerleading as well.
And the look in his eyes has not changed. I'm telling you, he's got the look of a guy that's going to go for over 50 today.
Got a cheap hand foul there, though, that he didn't need. Watch this one, a running three.
And my question again for North Carolina, how can you let him get that open in transition? You have to run side by side, step for step, check his breath the entire time now in this ball game. Guard him like third-grade defense, face to face. Do not leave Tyrese Rice open.
He has tied, no pun intended, his career high in this half. He's got 32 points. 32 points. We've still got 1:25 till halftime.
He came in making 2 3-point shots a game in ACC play. If you're North Carolina, forget about that stat. This guy's at a different level this afternoon on his home floor. Quentin Thomas is thinking, well, how do I guard him? If I back off, he's going to fire. And if I crowd him, he's already shown he can go by me.
And he does. And now he's fouled in the lane. He might have 35 by halftime. We said, can he get to 30? Well, he's already past that. So he steps to the free throw line.
Tyrese Rice shooting 2.
Brad, North Carolina has their hands full with Tyrese Rice, because if you're Roy Williams, you have to throw away the scouting report coming in, and you have to make an adjustment now at halftime. The adjustment, I think, is get the ball out of his hands. You might have to start doubling him up at every opportunity, and once he gives it up, do not let him get it back.
Tyrese Rice has just passed his career high from the free throw line in the first half. Add another 34 points in the first half. We got a minute left.
This is a game, if you're watching at home, on your cell phone, call your friends and say, you better turn this thing on.
We had him on pace earlier for 110 points. We've still got him on pace for 68. Here he is. There's about a 10-second difference on the shot clock and the game clock.
That sounds crazy that he's on pace for 68. I'm going to stay here and watch the rest of this game because he just might do it. I'm telling you, he's capable of getting 60. I know that.
They switch off and put Ginyard on him now. And now they try to double him. He got away and he didn't get it, but his teammate did.
Brad, he's attracting so many Carolina jerseys to him. Now other guys are going to feed off of his misses. What a performance by number 4 in white. He is soaring with the highest of any Eagle in the country right now.
And a walk on Thomas. They were worried a little bit about how big the crowd would be today. I think people started calling their friends a long time ago because I don't see many empty seats in here.
If he makes this one, I'm going to go shake his hand as he goes to the locker room. Whoa!
You almost did, and you almost had to.
I got to stand up, partner.
I do too.
And applaud him. I admit it's not the right thing to do, but you got to applaud an effort like that.
Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. 54-40 at halftime, and Tyrese Rice has 34 first half points. Coming up next, we'll be in the studio with Scott Reese. I don't know what else I can say, Scott.
He is on fire.
8 3-pointers in a half. He's given all of us the vapors right now. Welcome back to ESPN's College Basketball on ABC, presented by KFC, part of Judgment Week, presented by Jockey. Talk about a jockey that's riding a hot horse right now. That's not somebody's number. That's the scoreboard, and that's the number of points put up by Tyrese Rice in the first half. There you go, partner. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes back at Chestnut Hill. We've been doing this a long time. Never, ever a shooting performance have I seen like he put on in the first half.
You know what we witnessed? We witnessed when Pete Maravich played college basketball and he averaged 40 points. He would have some 30 and 34-point halves. That's what we just saw. Wilt Chamberlain, when he scored 100, he was on that kind of a pace. Wilt Chamberlain kept it up for the entire ball game. 34 points. And if you're Roy Williams at halftime, you walked in, you said, you know, we need to do a little bit better job on Tyrese Rice.
I would say he already has tied the ACC season high for three-pointers in a game with 8. It all came in the first half, obviously. Casey Rivers at Clemson had a game where he had 8, and here's Rice on a steal to open the half. And now he's got 36 points.
Brad, I go back to his eyes and his focus. He has not changed expressions from the point where he had 3 points to the point that he now has 36. This guy's capable of doing something we've never seen in a long, long time.
So just what Carolina did not need, a turnover to open the half. Ellington a 3, Blair with a rebound. And Rice says, give it to me.
You got to get the ball out of his hands if you're North Carolina. They're not doubling up, and he's just going to go to work.
He's got another one.
You got it.
Here we go.
Brad, you got to get it out of his hands. You can't let one guy knock you off of being #1 on Monday, #1 in the ACC, and on the road to a #1 seed. North Carolina can't let Tyrese Rice do that to him this afternoon.
He's got 38 points. Here's Ginyard. Nice cut on the baseline, and it pinned by Blair. Another block shot by Blair. Now Hansbrough draws a double, almost triple team. Forces it up. Rebound. Hansbrough got it back somehow, and now he got fouled. Nope, they're going to say jump ball. Jump ball, Boston College basketball. Let's take a look at our one-on-one spotlight brought to you by Colonial Life. Tyrese Rice, well, he's just basically playing one-on-one against himself. Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling you, call everyone you know and tell them to turn it on to ABC right now. You are watching something magical by #4 in white.
Blair in low. Rebound snatched down by Thompson. Hansbrough on the run. Had it swatted by Blair again. Boy, the shot blocking of Blair has been sensational.
Brad, watch the focus on Tyrese Rice. Watch his eyes and his concentration. His expression has not changed from in warm-ups to now his 38th point. It's just amazing the zone that this kid is in.
Boston College has matched its biggest lead of 18. And a whistle and a foul as they cross the lane.
BC foul number 32, John Oates.
John Oates picks up his 3rd.
Team foul on Eagles.
And Boston College went zone that time against North Carolina. Will they stick with it in the out of bounds? Keep an eye on Ellington if you do.
Here's Ellington in the lane.
He's so good, Brad, at operating off the out of bounds against the zone because he's a slasher and a floater, and he just attracts the basketball.
And now it's Ginyard again on Rice.
Ginyard's bigger. Is he quick enough now to keep Rice out of the lane?
Raji picked up his dribble, got it in the corner. Sanders 3 is short. Tracked down by Ellington on the run. Quentin Thomas. And now Ginyard. And Hansbrough in low. Hansbrough had 17 points at halftime. Now has 19. And it wasn't a quiet 17. It's just that this guy had twice as many. Blair, nice extra pass. 3-pointer goes. Torrey Raji.
And Brad, that's really off of their flex offense because they got the ball to the tight elbow. Everything's working for them right now. And talk about everything working. It is for 4 in white once again.
And a bump foul by Quentin Thomas.
Hansbrough is a hoss, but the hoss now has a big load to try to bring North Carolina back in this ball game. When he touches it that deep, Boston College isn't going to stop him. And on the other end, the answer, the flex offense, that touch right there. Boston College's ability to catch the ball at the elbow, that's when their offense can really get firing on you.
Roy Williams, as Dean Smith did so many times, 5 new bodies in there. Not happy with the 5 that were on the floor a moment ago.
I bet he's drawn up the ability of Boston College to touch it at the elbow.
Rice, a long 3 rimmed out. Here's Lawson. Cross-court pass. Green for three. Got it. Danny Green.
And Brad, so important. Only 28% from the three-point line is Danny Green in conference play. 36 on the year. He's got to get back to shooting around 36 if Carolina's going to go deep, deep in March.
Tyrese Rice guarded by Ty Lawson now.
Lawson struggled with him in the first half when he had him in check.
Sanders had a nice drive, didn't finish it. Danny Green wants it. He's feeling it right now a little bit. And the extra pass underneath. They miss him close. Copeland got too deep. It's not been the kind of trip to Boston that Roy Williams was hoping for. And remember, Carolina trying to keep pace with Duke atop the ACC at 12-2, and they are in a world of danger right now with just under 16 minutes remaining in the ball game. Boston College, led by Tyrese Rice with 38 points, has a 14-point lead. A lot of snow outside, a lot of three-pointers inside for Tyrese Rice. Duke, a one-point winner today. North Carolina trying to keep pace atop the ACC. They're in a world of trouble with 16 minutes to go. They trail by 14. Here's the main culprit today, if you're a Carolina fan. Georgia Tech a winner today over Wake Forest, we understand. Some of those teams in the middle of the pack in the ACC. Here's Sanders. Short. Green with a rebound. And now it's Lawson. Ahead with a pass to Copeland inside.
And Brad, what makes Duke a Duke and what makes North Carolina is their ability to come back on the road when crazy things are happening. And the craziest of crazy things have happened in this game, and North Carolina 61-49.
I think Duke was down either 12 or 13 with about 13 minutes to go today, and they came back and won. Similar scenario in the making here. Well, we'll have to wait and see. On the drive, and the foul on North Carolina underneath is going to be on Copeland. So if North Carolina is to keep pace, they're going to have to basically pull off the same thing that Duke did today. Projected ACC teams, courtesy of Joe Lunardi, who's almost never wrong.
Well, and if you're down here at Virginia Tech at 13, that tells you you're one of the last 4 teams in at this point. Your margin for error is nil. And, we talked about in the first half what North Carolina is playing for in this ball game today, Brad. A chance to stay tied with Duke for the big showdown heading down Saturday night in Cameron Indoor. A #1 seed at stake, #1 in the nation ranking coming out on Monday.
We understand Miami has beaten Virginia too, so that helps the Hurricanes' cause. They've been playing pretty well in the last couple of weeks, especially. 2 missed free throws by Sanders.
You see Lawson still not nearly back to that full speed charge that he usually has in transition.
Green missed a 3, kept alive as it's poked out back to Green. Lawson thought about a triple of his own. We watched him shooting before the game. When he take a shot, he didn't land the same way he normally would, gingerly on that left ankle. Here he is, and he's bumped by Sanders. Now NBA Sunday on ABC and ESPN tomorrow. 3 great matchups. First, LeBron and the Cavs take on the Bulls. Then at 3:30, Jason Kidd with his new team. Dallas Mavericks taking on Kobe's Lakers. Finally at 7:30 on ESPN, it's Denver taking on Houston. And there you see the 2 superstars that'll tangle tomorrow. What they've done so far this year. Here, we've had one sensational superstar performance by Tyrese Rice. If you just joined us, he's got 38 points, and we've got a long ways to go. Danny Green, he's going to keep doing it. That's his second 3 of the half, 10 points for the game. And this is as close as it's been in a long time. Down to single digits.
So important for Danny Green to make threes because Ellington has been knocking down over 50% the last 5 ball games. Ty Lawson can make threes when he's healthy. You have to have 3 of those threats to go deep in March. Green is the #3 guy.
Last time it was this close, Jimmy, it was 10-2 at the beginning of the ball game. 61-52. See if Rice had it stripped by Lawson. A rare Boston College turnover. Green with a heat check. Nope, not this time. Maybe now Rice has got it in his hands. He might call his own number here.
He averages 38 minutes a game, which leads the ACC, talking about Tyrese Rice. So he's used to playing all these minutes. He's a hard kid to wear down. That's another concern for North Carolina right now.
Hansbrough trying to swat it away from Southern. Foul by Stevenson from behind. Jimmy mentioned Tyrese Rice, 38+ minutes a game.
And you think, do you have a chance to get into him and take his legs out from him? He really doesn't play that kind of a style that you can really get into his legs. He's kind of a perimeter guard, likes to hang around that three-point line, selective with his push towards the rim. But the focus is still in his eyes. It tells you he's not done in this ball game. The Jason Terry type flavor to how he plays.
Yep. Blair, an offensive foul, knocking Hansbrough to the floor. Hansbrough leads North Carolina in charges taken. And Roy Williams was telling Jimmy and I in the locker room before the game, how many big guys do you find that does that around the country? And he also leads a team in steals. That's not normal for your big man underneath either.
For those reasons, he is my National Player of the Year right now, ahead of Beasley. And here come the Carolina Tar Heels.
Ellington with a three. Timeout, Boston College. Still a lot of basketball left. 13 to play. The lead's been cut to 6. 61-55. Last play by North Carolina, Jimmy.
Well, hold it right here, guys. You're going to see a double, what I call a headhunter screen right here for Ellington to work off of. They are so good at setting those headhunter screens right there. Boom, just lock you up and allow Ellington to measure the rim. Terrific play, and North Carolina now has the momentum in this basketball game because of it.
13 minutes to play. North Carolina on an 11-0 run to cut what was once an 18-point lead down to 6. And now North Carolina comes up with a steal. Ahead to Hansbrough. And now Green for a triple, and he got another one.
Boy, great passing of the basketball and great defensive pressure by North Carolina. In this last 60 seconds, they have shown me why North Carolina and UCLA, I think, are the best two teams built for a strong national title matchup in San Antonio.
See if Tyrese Rice can get his own number. Lawson right in his hip pocket. He's got to give it up. He scored the opening 2 buckets of the half, and now it's another Eagle turnover. Ellington trying to go coast to coast and does. Carolina back to within 1.
North Carolina's defense took a lot of hits in November and December. But over the last month, Roy Williams' team has gone from allowing 44% to 42%. That doesn't sound like a lot. That equates to about 6 or 7 points a game, though. That's a big, big difference.
If you're wondering the last time it was this close, it hasn't been. From 2-0 on, it was all Boston College until right now. Danny Green with a foul, but Danny Green also has 3 threes in this half. Has a major impact on North Carolina. Here's Tyrese Rice banging knees, it appears, with Danny Green before that last break, and he came off limping as well. Been a long day and a hard day, but a very productive day for number 4. 38 points right now, but he hasn't scored since the opening 2 buckets of the second half.
He may have limped off for the timeout, but you better cover him if you're North Carolina. I know that.
Danny Green just came up with a blocked shot, and on top of it, Southern picks up a foul.
North Carolina's defense, Brad, has turned this game around. They have taken Tyrese out, and they have really started pressuring other guys, and Danny Green has capitalized on that North Carolina defense by knocking down shots.
3 threes for Danny Green this half, and that has helped the cause. It's a 1-point game. North Carolina has never led and have trailed by as many as 18. They lead now for the first time.
A great set call by Roy Williams in the timeout, saying the next time we get the basketball, let's set them up for an overplay and a backdoor cut. North Carolina will do that 2 or 3 times a game to you to take away your pressure.
18 straight North Carolina points to lead for the very first time. And now does Boston College have an answer? Spears kind of forced his shot, but he'll take it. And now it's BC back in front. Lawson baseline, up and under. And now it looks like his ankle's getting warmed up. Rice, 40. He's got 40. The first BC player with 40 or more since Troy Bell 6 years ago against Iowa State. What a game.
But he may have to have in the high 50s for Boston College to win this game, because North Carolina has taken control in the momentum department.
Hansbrough. Hold down off the backside by Spears. Lawson right on Rice here in front of us.
Remember the space that Tyrese Rice had in the first half to shoot threes.
Yeah.
North Carolina doing a better job of not giving him that space, staying about 1 arm's length away at all times.
He goes around 2 picks. And now the weave on top. 8 on the shot clock. And he's fouled by Lawson. There's what we were just talking about. The record, John Austin, a long time ago. 49.
I tell you what, with Georgetown's win today at Marquette, that is a huge win and a power win for that team. I think North Carolina, UCLA, and then either Georgetown, Louisville, UConn, one of those 3 teams out of the Big East will be there in San Antonio as well. They're just too strong around the rim.
Boston College had 2 tries, didn't hit either. 3-on-2, Carolina. Ellington got it.
A lot of weapons, don't they, partner?
Yep.
A lot of weapons. And they've actually developed depth with Ty Lawson out for 6 games. Quentin Thomas now has good depth behind that point guard spot. Now back on the floor.
North Carolina by 1, and a steal by Ellington. Ahead to Hansbrough. And Lawson tied him up. Rice rather tied him up. How about that play by the little guy?
Terrific play, but I think the secondary official is going to run into the play and say the reason why he tied him up, though, Brad, is because he had 1 arm around the backside. A lazy high school Harry pass, and North Carolina thrives off of those. Watch the arm right there. You see the left arm and behind. Actually, it's the right arm of Tyrese Rice is why he got called for the foul, but a great hustle play.
And the officials, one overturning the other, sends Hansbrough to the free throw line.
Watch the offhand right there. That's what I'm talking about. It's not the hand on the ball, but it's a good job by the officials to have a conversation and quickly say, I know you saw the front of the play. Here's what happened in the back of the play.
Hansbrough missed both free throws and the follow on his own miss. Rice, weaving through traffic, is going to the free throw line.
And all of a sudden, Tyrese Rice has kind of swung the momentum back to Boston College in the building. Brad, just about 3 possessions ago, out of the timeout. Watch North Carolina right here. Hold it, guys. This is the overplay. You take 1 step out higher with that foot, and then boom, go. And that's exactly what you get. But if he doesn't take that 1 step higher and get the defense to bite 1 more time, that play's not there.
Rice ties it, at least temporarily, at 66 with his 41st point.
How many?
41. 42.
And if you just tuned in, you heard it right. 42 for Tyrese Rice.
Hansbrough backing in. Up, under, tipped, and in by Ginyard. Tar Heels back in front by 1.
North Carolina, Roy Williams putting different guys on Tyrese Rice. Now we're back to Ginyard at 6'7". He has the height to really bother Tyrese Rice. Rice has to try to do now something off the bounce against him.
And a whistle. And it's going to be a foul on BC, apparently on Raheem Sanders. Well, Thursday, it's an all-new Lost. This is one of the best seasons yet. There's never been a better time to get lost. It's Thursday night, 9, 8 Central on ABC. You can get caught up with Lost anytime on ABC.com.
North Carolina trying to avoid a loss right now.
You got that right.
With a lot at stake, #1 seed. They're on track for that, trying to stay toe for toe with Duke. Both win in the middle of the week, and they'll have the big showdown Saturday night on ESPN. #1 ranking. And they're only up 1 with 8 minutes to go. So Boston College now still hanging in, although the lead has evaporated.
Nice pass down low by Thomas. Ellington for 3. Got it.
Wow. Brad, he has developed his strength in the offseason. Now he can get his own shot and get separation. And that's a great example of it with a strong foot move and a step back for Ellington.
North Carolina has gone from 18 down to 4 up.
And it's been their defensive pressure on Boston College.
In close, nice pass, and Miko Paris scores.
Boy, Roy Williams knows he does not want this to be a 2 or 3 point game with 2 minutes to go. Not with a guy like Tyrese Rice on the floor. He needs to deliver a knockout blow right now in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Thomas got up in the air, got it to Thompson. Deon Thompson off the feed from Thomas, and it's a 4-point Carolina lead again.
He's their Tarzan. He's their guy that can come in and make plays through traffic with strength. Defensively, he will really help North Carolina in their run to a national championship if they can pull it off.
Harris for 3. Rebound, Ginyard. And ahead to Ellington, who's been hot this half. So is Danny Green. And here's Green on the other side. A triple. Got it.
Beautiful, I'm saying beautiful ball movement by North Carolina. First of all, the fast push of the basketball, Brad. They got it up with 32 seconds still on the shot clock. The defense has to respond to that speed. And when it becomes a speed game, the Tar Heels are the best in the country.
Danny Green and Wayne Ellington have come to life for North Carolina in the second half.
And again, so important for those two guys to knock down threes. That's the only area offensively, when you really study this team and break them down, you think we can get to them. So important for Green and Ellington, and Ty Lawson. The healthier he becomes, he's a three-point shooter as well.
Danny Green's got 18. Wayne Ellington's got 14. Tyler Hansbrough has got 19. And North Carolina, remarkably, has come from 18 down to lead now by 7. BC had 3 chances at it. 4th chance is going to come from the free throw line. Now can Boston College come from behind? We'll find out. ESPN's college basketball on ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. In the first half, Tyrese Rice was sensational. 34 first half points, career high in 3-pointers. He's been held without a 3-pointer in the second half, but he still has 42 points on the day. He started the day dancing. I guess he knew he was going to be this hot. And he should be maybe on Dancing with the Stars. It's coming up March 17th. It's a return featuring NFL great Jason Taylor, Monica Seles, and the most spectacular cast ever. Dancing with the Stars live 2-night event begins Monday, March 17th at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
About as good of order of combo fried rice as you could ask for, hadn't he? Huh?
That's for sure. And now Boston College has seen a 58-40 lead evaporate into a 7-point deficit. Trying to get it back to 6 is Corey Raji, the freshman out of Washington Township, New Jersey. Got the second. So a 6-point North Carolina lead with just over 6 to go. Hansbrough all alone. I don't know how he got away from Blair that far. And then Blair added problems to it by fouling him.
Brad, you know how I feel about teams that come out of timeouts, and the teams that win the timeouts win the ball games. Hold it right here, guys. Just a back screen right here for Hansbrough. Runs him to the block. A lot of teams will call this play Bama because Wimp Sanderson used this time and time again when he's the coach at Alabama with their bigs. Just a back screen, a diagonal back screen for Tyler Hansbrough to work off of. Coming out of the timeout, North Carolina is winning the timeouts.
Hansbrough, uncharacteristic for Tyler to miss 3 free throws in a row this half. Those are the only 3 that Carolina's missed.
You know what? When he gets back to Chapel Hill tonight, he'll go in the Dean Dome and shoot for 2 hours because he missed 3 free throws.
He probably will.
He won't sleep well until he gets it corrected.
North Carolina with its biggest lead of 8. Rice comes up short. Ellington's got the rebound. Lawson ahead to Ginyard. Ellington thought about that 3, but now they don't need a lot of points. Ty Lawson's going to be called for an offensive foul by hooking his arm around Rice.
Brad, because he's playing on a not a full speed left ankle, he has to do some things that normally you wouldn't have to do. You see the hook right there. If Ty Lawson is 100%, he doesn't have to hook people to go by him.
Here's the man of the hour, but now his team needs him more than ever. Down 8.
You're Boston College. You're trying to stay in contact with about 2 or 2.5 minutes to go. At that point, Tyrese Rice can take the game back over. Can they stay in contact, though?
Spears didn't get the roll, and Hansbrough's got the rebound. Green. And now Hansbrough against Oates inside. Score it.
He does a great job, even when you foul him, of making sure his shoulders are square before he releases that basketball. He just did it on that last possession.
A 10-point North Carolina lead. Been a 28-point swing in this game in the second half. And going to the deck trying to save it, but it's out of bounds to Boston College. Nice hustle by Ginyard.
Brad, I said Tyler Hansbrough is my National Player of the Year. Here's why. You look at the last 6 games without Ty Lawson, the numbers are awfully similar, both averaging 29 points a ball game. It's all the intangibles, though, that Tyler Hansbrough brings: the steals, the hustle plays, the bloody nose, the passion, all those extras that he brings. I think he has to be the National Player of the Year.
Here's a steal. Hansbrough may have forced it. Ellington flushes it on the other end.
There's your intangible partner.
Yep, that's exactly what you were talking about. He's the one that forced the errant pass. Ellington took it the distance, and it's North Carolina remarkably by 12 with 4 minutes to go.
How much strength has North Carolina shown in this ball game? I understand Boston College is 4-9 in the ACC, but you are having one of those once every 100 years performances out of Tyrese Rice, and North Carolina has had an answer.
That's the amazing thing about this game. Not just the swinging things in the second half. We've seen one of the greatest individual regular season performances maybe in ACC history, at least one of the top 10. But we've also seen one of the most remarkable comebacks by the #2 team in the country to swing an 18-point deficit to a 10-point lead with 3:39 to go. Here's the intangibles. Force a bad pass. Teammate flushes it on the other end. Carolina. The thrilling new series on Sunday is being called Inspired. A must-watch, a feel-great competition. Big drama, big surprises, big emotion. Oprah's Big Give series premieres Sunday at 9, 8 Central on ABC. Brad Nessler, Jimmy Dykes. Right now, the Eagles wish that Oprah would give them a come-from-behind win. They looked like they were going to cruise, leading by 18. But now it's North Carolina with a 10-point lead and 3.5 minutes to play.
Remember how good North Carolina has been coming out of every timeout. Now they go to their semi-delay game, taking some time off the clock, but it should result in something with Ty Lawson and Tyler Hansbrough.
Green, 3. Tipped. Hansbrough got a hand on it, but Oates comes down with a rebound, and tripping gets it out to Tyrese Rice.
This is a must-score possession for Boston College if they have a shot.
Rice double pumps in midair and hits it. 44 for number 4.
You almost say, if you're Boston College, let him take all the shots from here on out.
Lawson, what a follow that was.
But Brad, it's their speed game. Ty Lawson's ability, even on an ankle that's maybe 85–90%, to beat everyone else down the floor. The speed game again for North Carolina, second to none.
AFC hot hand. You think there was ever a doubt about that? Tyrese Rice with 44, Danny Green with 18, and 4 big threes for Danny Green in the second half that helped propel North Carolina on a huge run. In this half, it's been a 44-20 push by North Carolina to take the lead.
And they go back with their size now on Tyrese Rice. Trying to take away his three-point looks with Ginyard to help him as a defender.
What a pass that was.
You get too concerned now with Rice. You can get some wide open looks for other guys, but he's got to take shots with 2:30 to go.
Jimmy and I were directly behind that pass. Trust me, that one had eyes. There wasn't much space there. Watch this pass by Tyrese Rice. Around a pick by Spears, and then boom. Oh,
almost like a quarterback running a timing route with his receiver, knowing when I come off of this ball screen, you slip to the rim, I'm going to throw it to the spot that you should be at, and he was there.
Hansbrough at the free throw line, and that's more like Tyler Hansbrough, who hit all of his free throws in the first half and had missed 3 this half.
He says what he likes about Roy Williams the most is the fact that Roy Williams comes ready to practice every day. How many coaches say that about their head coach? They're asking for the coach to come to take a day off, not Tyler Hansbrough.
Roy Williams gave them Monday off, or tried to, as Rice misses in close. Went down to the locker room, was going to pick up a jacket that he had left down there, and he heard a ball bouncing. He went in. Tyler Hansbrough had been shooting for 45 minutes by himself on a day off, or a would-be day off.
After a stretch of, what, 12 days out of 13 doing something. And you know what? Roy Williams trusts that Tyler Hansbrough knows his body. There's a hard foul.
That's
on
one
Ty
thing.
Lawson.
Yeah, North Carolina does not want to see number 5 hitting the deck that hard. Foul on Boston College. I think it's on Oates, although they haven't made a call yet. It is.
Brad, you know what's interesting? When you have your first major injury as a basketball player, and that's what it is for Ty Lawson right now. When you first come back, you have to decide in your head, if you're Ty Lawson, is it pain that I'm worried about, or is it fear that I don't trust my ankle? And I think in a funny way, that hard foul and knocking him down,
that might help,
is going to help him.
Yeah. Good point.
Trust that ankle just a little bit more, knowing that, you know what, it's okay.
It held up, and it looks like their lead will hold up too, unless this guy can pull some more magic out of that left hand of his.
You just can't get the separation in this half that he had in the first half.
He's going to take it anyway. Missed badly on the 3.
The size of Ginyard, I think, has been a good move by Roy Williams on Tyrese Rice in spurts. He hadn't given him a full dose of it, but he's given it to him in spurts.
1:15 left.
North Carolina showed me a ton of strength in this ball game. Forget about the record of Boston College. They had it going on as well as you can have it going on in the first half, and North Carolina had an answer.
Lawson gets it back in the corner. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? Who do you figure? Hansbrough. Fresh shot clock. Game clock under a minute. Some of the folks here starting to head to the exits. But boy, have they seen something today. And what a week we've had, Jimmy Dykes. You started it off by singing with Vince Gill. We saw a newly crowned number 1 in Tennessee fall to Vanderbilt and Shane Foster. We saw one of the greatest performances in this season by Tyrese Rice, but we have now seen one of the greatest comebacks along with Duke's today against North Carolina State in the second half by North Carolina. Tonight, Will Ferrell stars in ABC Saturday Night Movie Old School, 8/7 Central. Then at 10/9 Central, you can relive some of the favorite late-night moments on Jimmy Kimmel Live. All-Star salute to Jimmy Kimmel. Only Jimmy could have his own salute to Jimmy, unless you're my partner, Jimmy Dykes, who salutes himself on a regular basis.
We were saluting Tyrese Rice at half, I know that, with 34 points. And again, all I saw from North Carolina today tells me North Carolina, UCLA, and take your pick right now between Georgetown, Louisville, and maybe even UConn. Big East coaches say with Dyson back, that's the most talented team overall in the Big East. I think those are the teams you're looking at to make a deep, deep run in March, especially North Carolina and UCLA, the best 2 teams in the country today.
So now 12-point lead again. And now North Carolina is on their average of 90 points a game. And who'd have thunk it would ever come to this? By the way things went in the first half. Sanders for 3. Rims out. Reese fade away in the paint, and he's going to go to the free throw line to add to his sensational career high day. But it's not going to be enough.
North Carolina foul number 2, Mark Campbell is
Brad, the reason why I'm sold on North Carolina right now, how many other teams are there in the country could lose their starting point guard and backup point guard, for that matter, with Bobby Fraser out for the year? UCLA, if they were to lose Darren Collison, could they continue to win in the Pac-10? If Texas lost Augustine, what would they do? If Memphis were to lose Derrick Rose over a 6-game stretch, although they're in Conference USA, they could probably weather the storm. Duke without Paulus. And for North Carolina to continue to win like they've done without Ty Lawson, the straw that certainly stirs the drink, which is Tyler Hansbrough, tells me they're strong.
Al Skinner wants this young fella to get what he deserves, and he takes him out with 46 points, the second most in Boston College history, to a standing ovation. And if Jimmy and I weren't so busy, we'd stand and cheer as well. North Carolina, you're probably looking at the new #1 team in the country, folks. Do they have to battle, or do they have to battle? They put up 50 in the second half. They score 90, which is their average. And they beat a pesky Boston College team led by a sensational 46-point performance by Tyrese Rice, and they win it today. 90-80 is the final for North Carolina as they keep pace with the Duke Blue Devils atop the ACC with a 12-2 mark. What a show we got today in Chestnut Hill. We woke up with snow this morning, and we definitely warmed things up in this arena this afternoon.
And we're at North Carolina right on track to stay after the #1 seed, stay toe-to-toe with Duke in the ACC, and the new #1 team in the nation come Monday.
90-80 is the final. That's our final score. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with a Waste Management post-game report after this. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire ABC crew from Chestnut Hill, Brad Nessler. What a show we got today.